Hello, so I'm back with a revival book review, I guess. So the first proper, not update-ish video. Yay! Okay, so the book review I'm going to review. That just made no sense. The book review I'm going to be reviewing. So the book I'm going to be reviewing, I don't actually have it with me because I had to go to the library today and I had to go and give it back to the library because I finished it. And, well, I guess I could have renewed it, but yeah, I really didn't think. So anyway, just because I want to be evil, I'm going to be eating a crunchy whilst doing this book review. Now my screen's gone all funny and yellow. What is happening? Don't think that's made it any better, let me see. No, not really made it any better at all. Oh well, we shall just have to cope with this as it is. Very, very annoying. Maybe if I... No, that's not working at all. I don't understand why it's done that. Really annoying. But anyway, I'm going to be eating a crunchy treat size. Oh yes, thank you for not making that. Okay, so anyway, the book I'm going to be reviewing today is called Wings by April and Pike. Now this series it's 4 series, and essentially it's a why do you need, well, I know that everybody likes to make fairies all dark nowadays, dark fairy tales and all that, but this is kind of like a different take on fairies in terms of what they are. It's actually quite an interesting concept, where essentially it's about this 15-year-old girl called Laurel who's been living quite an ordinary life, cliche, whatever, number, whatever, and she finds, or basically, what happens one day is that, a bump starts to run on her back, and it gets steadily bigger each day, until finally it bursts into this, what look like wings, they're actually just massive flower, and she's rather scared. Anyway, as the book progresses, she, meets this, other member of kind. It turns out she's a fairy, so it's a fairy who's called Tamani. Now, Tamani is the only interesting character in this book, and he only appears 3 times. He's basically very mysterious, and he's quite fun to be around. Yes, which is quite unusual considering I usually hate characters like him. But I think it's because he was so interesting compared to the rest of the book and the characters that I was like, oh, finally, there's someone good in this series. So we've got Tamani, and this being always serious, like I cannot tell you why. I've been watching you for the past 15 years, only that I have. And Laurel knows she was adopted. She's also moved. No, I explained this really badly, didn't I? Right. Well, Laurel has this house with parents own this big house with a lot of land, and they've bought another house to open a bookshop in a bigger city, and they're trying to sell off this house because they finally want to get rid of it. And Laurel's moved into a new house, of course she has, new school. She's never been to school before. Anyway, she meets this guy called David, who is so dull, so 2D. I can't actually really work out how to describe him other than he's pretty flat, and I can't really work out Laurel's personality either. So that made me really annoyed. And he's very sciencey and very good looking as, well, cliche stuff. David basically helps Laurel to understand what she's, Tamani tells Laurel, you are a fairy here. You are a plant, because in this world, fairies are highly evolved plants, not animals. And she basically like, David, prove this to me, because she tells David everything, except absolute secrets, which Tamani wants her to keep. We'll call him Tam. No, I don't call him Tamani. Sounds better. Tam. So so David basically looks at Laurel's cells on the microscope, and yes, he can confirm that she has got plant cells. And then the series progresses, and there's this evil guy called Mr. Barnes, Jeremiah Barnes, who turns out to be a troll, which again is some sort of mutation of evolution. They're stronger than humans, but they turn out really quite hideous. And it's explained basically the reason fairies look so attractive is because they're completely symmetrical. Because all their cells are ordered or something. Plant cells are nice and rectangular, animal cells are all bleh. So we got this going on, and then because trolls love treasure, and as it turns out, the house Laurel's parents are trying to sell off is basically a gateway to Avalon. The trolls want this, so they're trying to basically get the house and the land, and they basically poison Laurel's adopted father, and well, they're reasonably cool, but just typical bad guys. It's well, then where was I? Okay, so yes, they track down the trolls, and Tamani kills them all except Barnes, because Barnes attacks him, and then Laurel can't shoot straight, so Barnes escapes. Just escapes. And pretty much that's it. The book of it, oh gosh, as a reader, I like to finish a book. Even if I'm not enjoying it, I have to finish the book. This one, oh gosh, I was thinking like 100 pages in, 100 pages in, nothing really had happened. It was so annoying. It was sort of like her life at school for several months. So annoying. I mean, it's just like, I do not want to read about your school life. I want to read about you being a fairy. Okay, so in terms of the plot, dull, no twist. But then again, it's the first book. You don't always have to have twists in the first book, although that is good. Writing style, nothing special. You know, compared to some authors I've read, it's a bit low standard, but not exactly awful. I mean, it was bearable, but not exactly brilliant writing. You know, it's just sort of like, as a story. And I know I know when I read a book, I don't sort of like connect really to any of the characters when I read. That's very rare. I don't sort of like have particular favourites. Again, only certain book series I will develop a favourite character, but I don't want them to be flat 2D cardboard cutouts. Laurel and David, they had no personality. Tamani, on the other hand, just lives up. That's why the fairies have actually got personality. It's like if you're human, you have no personality, for fairy you do. So that was really dull. Okay, then my other really big peeve with the book was the actual fairies themselves. Okay, so I will continue with this in part 2 because it's going to get quite rowdy.